Hey, what's up guys? Blue Dream 47 here, and first and foremost, I want to apologize for the lack of uploads lately. I have been extremely busy in my personal life, but I also just haven't had quite the motivation to edit videos. I am going to try to get back to regular uploads, but I want to let you know that I'm never going to completely give up on YouTube. I'm always going to be making videos and experimenting with new content and trying to give you guys something entertaining to watch. That being said, in today's video, we're going to be talking about, has Dead by Daylight gotten harder? A lot of people have been talking about this on Twitter and on different YouTube videos. People have been talking about this, and I wanted to just kind of dive in and give my 2 cents on this situation as somebody who does play killer in high MMR. So let's get into it. If you do like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Anything that helps support the channel, I do really appreciate, and I love each and every one of you guys. All right, let's get into it. So, has Dead by Daylight gotten harder? In my honest opinion, no. I don't think it has. I think it has always been very difficult, to be honest, for killer. I think that one thing that I have noticed is Shoulder the Burden has made games a lot harder. Shoulder the Burden is a perk that came with Tori Kane with the Houndmaster chapter, and this perk allows survivors to basically trade hook states with each other and effectively make the killer 12 hook and spread hooks against their will, right? So Shoulder the Burden has definitely made games harder. If I had to say anything, I guess survivors have gotten more gen efficient, but to be honest, I really don't notice a big difference. I actually think that part of this is like maybe mass hysteria or something like that. I've always been in high MMR for killer. I mean, for a long time, like I win streak as many different killers in high MMR, and yeah, a lot of games we're going against full meta teams who are very, very efficient on gens. Do I notice a difference like game to game? Yeah, sometimes, but I think for me, it's like I'm always kind of prepared for that. I'm always ready for survivors to just be glued to gens. It doesn't ever like really shock me, you know? And I don't know. I think that maybe this is just a thing with like more casual killer players, or maybe they did do something to the MMR so that, you know, these more casual players are actually going against better teams now. I don't know, but me personally, I have not noticed a real difference. It could also be that I'm on NA West, and apparently NA West is a very casual kind of server. I have heard people in the EU servers, which is known for being more quote-unquote sweaty. I have heard that it is significantly more sweaty over there right now, so it could be a server thing as well. But to be honest, no, I haven't really noticed a big change at all. So it does feel like mass hysteria to me a little bit. Survivors to me, like, they've always been pretty gen efficient, you know? The odd game where I'm 4K'ing at 5, that's completely on the survivors. They're just being silly. They're running into me, stuff like that, right? So I really don't notice a big difference. And I've tuned into other killer main streamers' streams, and I don't notice a difference over there. You know, I don't know. It's very strange to me. It's a very strange phenomenon, to be honest. One thing that I can say that I have noticed is that survivors, on average, in my experience, have been more gen efficient. And I can say that with confidence. They have been more gen efficient as of late. But again, this is something that like killer players should expect. right? If you really want to win all your games, you got to bring slowdown. You got to play effectively. You got to look for, you know, that bit of pressure in any way you can get it, whether it's a slug, a camp, a tunnel, proxying a gen, you know, trying to secure a 3-gen, stuff like that. You should always be digging deep and bringing stuff that's going to help you win if you want to win. And I've noticed that a lot of people who have been kind of saying that the game is harder, they're not really bringing like the strongest builds. You know, it's usually like semi-casual builds, at least in my experience. I don't know. But yeah, I to be honest, I really haven't noticed a difference. I think maybe it is partly a bias because I do win streak on, you know, just about every single stream that I do play. You know, we did like a pig win streak, we're streaking Vecna or streaking Springtrap, you name it. I'm always playing to win, right? So I think for me, there might be a bit of bias because every single game I'm going in, I'm expecting them to sweat. And part of me wants them to sweat. Part of me wants the games to be difficult so that people can see a difficult game and the games are exciting. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I have noticed survivors are more gen efficient lately. Maybe they are getting better. You know, the UI change that happened about a year and a half ago, whatever. I think that has helped solo queue a lot, and I do think that survivors on average have gotten better. And this is a good thing, though. This is a very good thing because if survivors on average are getting better, then that means that maybe finally we can see some of these really not fun to play against metas hopefully get nerfed, you know, like Shoulder the Burden, Off the Record, stuff like this. Maybe we can finally see those getting nerfed so that they're not so oppressive in those 4-man Swifts who are in high MR, you know, those God squads and stuff like that. Maybe. So I think it's a good thing, to be honest. Like I said, I haven't really noticed like a massive difference, but I have noticed some things. And if survivors are getting better, I think that's a good thing. If they are getting more gen efficient, that's a good thing, you know? Like I don't see it as a bad thing. It's, you know, like I don't think as a killer player that you should just be going game to game and you know, having easy games. Killer shouldn't be easy. Survivor shouldn't be easy. You know, this is a horror game, right? Like it should be challenging and engaging, and especially if you're in like high MMR, there should be a challenge for sure. The only thing I do feel bad for like the lower tier killers and for killer players who are more casual, but the reality of Dead by Daylight has always been that if you want to win, you have to bring slowdown, you have to dig deep, you gotta tunnel, camp, slug, proxy, whatever, right? Like that's just how it's always been. So yeah, what do you guys think about this whole situation? Do you think that Dead by Daylight has gotten harder? If you think so, let me know in the comments and let's talk about it. I wanted to give my 2 cents on this situation because so many people are talking about it. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.